Well, hi, Jupiter. I'm back with 60 books in isolation, and it is Vox by Christina Dalcher. Now, I did not like this book. I read the blurb on the back and explain why. Jean McKellen spends her time in almost complete silence, limited to just 100 words a day. Any more and 1,000 volts of electricity will course through her veins. Now the new government is in power, everything has changed, but only if you're a woman. Almost overnight, bank accounts are frozen, passports are taken away, and 17 million women lose their jobs. Even more terrifying, young girls are no longer required to read or write. For herself, her daughter, and for every woman's silence, Jean will reclaim her voice. It's only just the beginning. Okay, right. Now this came out last year and everyone was talking about it. This is like the new Handmaid's Tale. Even the cover looks Handmaid's Tale-ish, doesn't it? You know, silence can be deafening. The book of the moment. This book will blow your mind. Disturbing. Hey, so says Lee Child. Okay. Well, Christina Dalcher, I didn't enjoy this book at all. Okay, this book was just absolutely all over the place. It's a debut, and I only like debuts because of the passion, but this book was just terrible. Now, it's not set in the future or the far distant future. It's set now, present day. This is the book about the Trump era. This is a Trump era book. Okay, this is basically about how a president has been elected thanks to a movement called grass, a grassroots movement called the Pure Movement, which started off in like the deep south kind of thing, like Texas kind of area, kind of spread out and basically converted everyone to its will, including the Christians. Now, this isn't a book okay about a little subdivision of Christians. This isn't a book okay about how a minority and then who took over, but there's little like kind of sets fighting back kind of thing. It's basically all Christians turn to this movement, all of them, all Christians. So you can't be, according to this book, it's like you can't be a Christian and be liberal. You can't be gay and be Christian. No, this is basically all Christians are bad. And this book obviously has a lot of misogyny and a lot of misandry too, because even though this book is about subjugation of women, there's also so many digs of men as well. Like, oh, boys act a certain way, or men do this. This is like men's thinking. This is a book basically about men hating women, but by an author who basically just, well, a character who also appears to hate men. So, right, so there's a lot of misandry in this book as well, okay, about what boys are like, okay? So our heroine, Jean, is a neurolinguist, I believe it's pronounced. I'm going to find out what the correct word is and just put it in the comments, because the science in this book confused me. Okay? It's not really written for like, the layman's terms, okay? So, this is how the book starts. This even tells you, okay? You know, if someone had told me I'd been down the president and the Pure Movement and that incompetent little shit Morgan Le Bon, who's a colleague, by the way, in a week's time, I wouldn't have believed them, but I wouldn't argue. I wouldn't say a thing. I become a woman of few words. So basically, this is a story about Jean's subjugation, because obviously it's all from the first person narrative, because, you know, it's from her worldview, her point of view. Now, in this book, she's gone from being a doctor to being a housewife, a stay-at-home mother. Now, in this world, okay, which is now so rigidly religious, even two separate Bibles, one for the men and one for the women. Now, I would love to have a bit more content on that. Okay, she mentions a character holding the pink Bible, as men get the blue one. It's like, would you edit in the Bible? Because the Bible, would you cut out the woman's Bible? Okay, the book of Ruth. Very good story that. So, yeah. So I'd like to know that difference came between the Bibles, but that's not even that, like, expanded on. But this is it. This is when she's flashing back to Jean. Sorry, Jackie. This is the problem. Okay, a character called Jean and one called Jackie. Right. Now, Jackie was a friend of hers who basically had a falling out, because Jackie was the one who saw this coming, one who kind of organised protests, just kind of trying to make it clear, okay, that this is bad for women, and Jean pretty much ignored it. Right, this is a bit. Right. Is it Jean flashing back? I didn't need her accusation. I didn't need them 20 years ago. I don't need them now. But I still remember the day they started, the day that my friendship with Jackie started going south. You're coming to the march, right, Jean? Jackie stood braless and makeupless at the door to my room, while I sprawled among the library's neo-linguistics collection. Can't. Busy. For F's sake, Jean, this is more important than some stupid aphasia study. How about you focus on the people who are still around? Right. So they had a falling out. But the thing is, okay, about this, okay, and, well, also, is when women describe other women in this book, okay, it's also very dismissive too. I mean, you have Jackie, who kind of basically she's looking down, okay, on I guess, housewives. She's looking down, okay, people, okay, who aren't apolitical. You know, basically, it's kind of like, be on my side, okay, you're the bad person. And then they had a falling out. Because Jackie, who basically was this freedom fighter, who had a bit like a narrow worldview as well. You know, basically, it's my way or it's no way. Okay, but Jackie, as she's mentioned so often in this book, I thought, yeah, definitely she came in at the end. She'd come in at the end and become a big damn hero, because of course she does. Okay, absolutely, of course she does. This is bit, okay, where Jean is describing her life now, what her life actually is, right? Some of like little sillinesses remain the same. I still drive, hit the grocery store on Tuesdays and Fridays, shop for new dresses and handbags, get my hair done once a month at in a Zuni's. Not that I've changed the cut. I need too many precious words to tell Stefana how much to take off here and how much to leave there. My leisure reading limits itself to billboards advertising the latest energy drinks, ingredients lists on ketchup bottles, wash instructions on clothing tags, do not bleach. And this is a world, okay, where women, it's weird actually, because it doesn't actually go and say, okay, books are banned, okay, but books in the house, okay, are kept under lock and key by the husband. But that's not being monitored at all. I mean, no one's got secret cameras inside their houses. So you said past the radar, and it's mentioned quite earlier on about how women kind of like try to communicate with sign language, but they they got kind of like caught and were taken away, never to be seen again. This is a book, and there's so many things in this book which could have been explored in better ways. Like basically, where she's like exploring about what happened to the single women. Now, single women, okay, of a certain age, are basically taken and are now used and abused by rich powerful men. The older ones are like sent to camps. If you're a member of the LGBTQ plus community, you're in a camp. And you know, you sit there thinking maybe these areas, these actual stories would have been a bit more interesting to explore, because the thing is, Jean had a privileged life, and now she's a housewife, but she still gets her hair done. She still goes shopping. Okay, she's limited to 100 words a day, but you know, if she even says, okay, little things don't change. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But this is when it goes into what I like to call purple prose. Now, obviously, she has this, wears this thing on her hand, this counter. They speak over 100 words, you get an electric shock, okay, and it gets quite violent as well. So, and she has a young daughter by the name of Sonia, and she also has 3 other children. And the thing is, the middle 2 don't really get much of a mention either. As a subplot towards her elder son, it basically sleeps with a girl, okay, and she gets taken away and has her basically tortured and has her hair shaved, because premarital sex is okay for the man, but not for the woman, okay. Which, you know, but once again, that really could have been explored a little bit more, you know. So, but this is when, okay, this is page 29, where it goes to call the purple prose. This is when, again, she's with her husband, you know, doing the you know, making love with her husband. And it's when, again, but she's fantasizing about her ex-boyfriend. Here we go. Lorenzo, I whisper inside my head and kick the 3 delicious syllables away before they hurt too much. Myself is becoming more and more separate. I'm in a rented cottage 2 months ago, lying beneath the body of a man I want to just be to see again. A man whose hand I still feel roaming over my flesh. Now, Lorenzo, a fellow doctor, okay, yep, and this is when, right, so more exposition, more world building, more basically how crap G's life is, about how poor Sonia, who gets an award because she hasn't spoken more than 3 words a day, and that's how their generation of subjugation of women begins, okay? This is when Reverend Cole comes in, right? Now, I actually had to write this down, okay? Because this made 0 sense to me. Because at the start of the book, she mentions the president. I can't remember the president being named, but the pure movement is run by Reverend Cole, okay? Who has got in contact with Jean. This guy basically is a spiritual leader who is people, okay? Has come to Jean's house because the president's brother had a skiing accident, and his name is Robert Myers, or Bobby Myers. And to do with aphasia, which is what Jean specialises in. Oh, what a twist. So, Jean and this bit here. Now, you can imagine, okay, this is the world, okay, imagine the big bad wolf coming to your house. This man is the big bad wolf, okay? But who actually knows a husband, because Patrick, her husband, actually works for the government. There you go. There you go, right. Right, this bit here. Hot in here, Reverend Cole says, glancing towards the fridge with its built-in water and ice dispensers. Yep, I say. I take the cue. Patrick, why don't you get our guests a glass of water, hun, since you're right there? He does, and neither of us missed the slight shake of Reverend Carl's head. I'm the wife, I should be the one serving. Right, well, actually, yeah, because you can imagine, okay, this guy is basically get with the government's come to your house. You kind of should. I mean, that is how it was supposed to go. You basically would have to, no, in a setting like this, you would basically have to keep your mouth shut and serve this man. You would not turn to your husband and say, oh, you serve him because you're standing. No one in that room would take it under this government that you've described. Okay? Not one bit at all. Okay? This bit here, it's later on when she's talking to Reverend Cole again. I'm skipping ahead this bit here, okay? Right. We're hoping, Dr. McKenna, this is Reverend Cole again. Reverend Cole starts. He says, longingly at my coffee mug. I don't offer him a drink of his own, and I don't let him finish. Well, I won't. We could up the pay. Well, she gets paid. Wow, a job which subjugates women, takes away their voice, and yet she's basically in her house with the Reverend Carl, who does actually have all the authority in this because he's like head of the goddamn government, pretty much. And she not offer him a coffee. Reverend Carl could just tell her to make the coffee, and she would not be in a position because she has no power in this, no real power. I mean, they've come to her because she's the best, but the thing is, I think because she was there, she keep her mouth shut. Her husband works for the government. You're trying to tell me, okay, there's no other scientist, male or female, who's an expert in aphasia studies. Okay? Because the president's brother, who's the real power behind the throne, had a skiing accident. Yeah. Right. Right. So, but this bit here, okay, is when they're describing the cuff. So basically, to negotiate working on this study to basically heal the president's brother's brain, she negotiates having her and her daughter's cuff removed. Okay? So now she's in a position of power. She can use her voice. She can use more than 100 words a day. Now, Sonia, she basically leaves with, she finds a safe haven for her so she can talk because there'll be too many questions at school about what's going on. And, view of evolution, not going to happen. So, Sonia goes to like a private daycare where she can talk and basically try to find her voice because she's a toddler, pretty much. And Jean goes to work, and this book just made no sense. Now, obviously, this is written by someone who probably is an expert in her field. But for the layman's terms who knows dick about neuroscience, I was like, what the hell? What the hell is going on? There was too much going on. And then we talk about Lorenzo, okay, because her cuff is off. He's now working for the government. She gets her laptop back, okay. And this bit here as well, this bit here, okay. Now, this is when, okay, this is page 63, when Reverend Cole was at her house and says, come to work, right? Right. So, Reverend Cole says, his hands are now down, he's no longer looking at me, but they're still cuffed. Thomas has been holding for the past 20 minutes. It's your choice. You can set up a new lab, recommence your research, and move forward. Or everything can go back to normal. I'm sure your family would like that. He doesn't look at me while he's talking, but Patrick, as if he's studying my husband's reaction. Remember a world, okay, where women have no power? Basically, the whole thing I care about, we negotiate a salary for you. You can have your team. They could have just commanded her to do that. Basically said, you're going back to work whether you like it or not. Cuff or no cuff. And you can't negotiate. Okay? It actually would have been a nice realistic twist. Okay? But, no. But anyway, further along the book, okay, this is page 129. I'll guess who comes in. Okay? Going on the team leader. Okay? The rest alphabetical. And the credentials which include the word former, then me, and also former. Every instance of that word is a poke in the eye, because she's now a formal doctor. And I'm ready for the gut patch that follows. The third surname is on the list is Rossi. First name Lorenzo. Oh, Lorenzo's back. Now the first time she gets back with Lorenzo, first time they see each other, okay, they're at it. They're at it. They're at it at work. They're at it in the car. They're having sex. Yeah. So now Jean is now in a position, okay, where she can actually do something. She's got her words back. She's doing it to protect her daughter, and basically trying to do something with her life. Okay, trying to try to make some sense of this. And the first thing is she's doing, okay, is shagging her ex. Oh, and here we go. Right. This bit here. I'm 43 years old. I have 4 kids, thanks to Patrick and his Irish reality. I had twins 11 years ago, and I know enough about reproduction biology to realise that my chances of having multiples are higher now than they were. I also know I got a 1 in 2 chance of having another girl. When you snap a word counter on her wrist, the second she pops out, or when I wait a few days, in any case it will happen. Yeah, so she gets pregnant. Now, in an action okay, where basically women having, she basically put her entire family in danger with this. Because she had to do the nasty with her lover, Lorenzo. It's so pathetic. And the thing is this. Now, there's stuff going on about, obviously, a subplot, with her son, it was Sonia as well, how Jean basically looks down at women who have accepted the regime, because even though, she's like, Jean's like silently protesting about this, in the end, okay, she does really nothing, okay? She doesn't take down the government, other people do. She basically, her husband dies, okay? Her husband dies, the government starts falling apart, and Jean escapes. Oh, you meet Jackie again. Jackie's got a hand in this, okay? Because they're doing human testing, and Jackie was one of the test subjects. Because of course that actually makes a lot more sense. People, okay, who are the outspoken ones, people, okay, who are against the totalitarianism government. Thank you. Oh, probably the ones, okay, they want to silence first. Okay, so human testing. Okay, they even start talking, okay, about doing testing on monkeys and apes. It's like, it's just not important. It's just not important. At the end of it, Jean has no hand in this rebellion. She basically runs away to Italy through Canada, okay? Through Canada to be. Here we go. Right, this bit here. It's how it ends. She runs away with her children and Lorenzo and the baby, the 4 kids basically, and the unborn one, to Italy. Right. Here we go. Canada, of course, be Canada. How Handmaid's Tale run to Canada. Canada was warm all throughout June and July, where we waited for the red tape, waited for six passport applications, were on their way through Montreal offices. Right. So, yes, the south coast of Italy, and Lorenzo been working on his project day or night since we arrived on Monday. Yes. So, yes, this brand new revolution, this brand new world, the crumbling of this terrible oppressive regime, and our lead character isn't even there for it. She runs away. It's all done. Basically, the men in this story are the ones who basically put their neck on the line, not her. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So everyone going on, okay, about this book, okay, was the next Handmaid's Tale. It's not. There's no real good word building. There's no real character development. I don't remember the president even having a name, by the way, just the president, which obviously is a stepping for Donald Trump, okay? I'm not stupid. So, this book is not good, okay? Everyone went on about this book being like the next Handmaid's Tale. Nowhere near, okay? As Charles of the Handmaid's Tale, but essentially it's about a woman. Even the word order makes no sense. So no, I don't recommend Vox. It's not a very good book. And now I'm signing off. I've been talking now for 20 minutes. Take care, everyone. Bye now. See yous.